At the time of this video's release, yesterday was Thanksgiving, and I posted my mediocre Thanksgiving special about things that I love about Sonic Frontiers. Well, today is Nitpick Day, and it's Black Friday. See what I did there? So today I'm going to be mentioning things that I don't like about Sonic Frontiers. That explanation was just for those of you who don't fully understand nitpicking. So, let's get on with it. So, yesterday I talked about how fun it was to explore and that you can, run across the island in a few minutes. That only applies to this first area, Kronos Island. The other maps are way harder to run around in, which, a great example is Ares. So, Ares is. All the islands are named after Greek mythology, like gods and titans and stuff. And Ares is named after the god of war. How fitting. So, Ares is just extremely hard to explore because you're constantly getting lost. Unless you really fully know what you're doing, it's gonna be way too difficult to explore this thing without looking at the map. I especially hate these enemies. They'll change the camera angle so that you can't see what you're doing, usually resulting in you hitting a wall. Also, the combat on this island is not the greatest. It really sucks when they throw in these really difficult enemies in the early game. And they're easy now, because I've played a lot, but when you first start the game, they are horrible. And then there's Squid. Boy, I could make a whole video on why this is not good for an early game boss. Aside from him coming back in Kronos, which he definitely fits better there, he's just brutal for first-time players. Now here I have Infinite Boost and the Power Boost, which is really good. And I have it on full speed mode, but first-time players are not going to be beating this thing as easily as I can. Because, they are usually not going to be playing on high speed mode, so they won't get that extra speed boost that I have. Yeah, this boss is painful the first time. And you know what other boss is painful the first time? Yes, another, beginning of the game boss that is painfully difficult for its placement in the story. Yeah, I was very confused on this boss the first time I fought it. And I'm sure that most other players were. The main reason I don't like this one is you can't beat it in the first cycle, like you can with most of the other multi-cycle bosses. And you've explored all the way through Ares to get here, and when you beat it, it rewards you with 1 portal gear. That's not a fair reward for what I had to go through. Oh, and speaking of button inputs not working, let's take a look at this clip here. Let's really analyze this. Okay, so I'm moving at a great pace, and watch how the camera angle shifts here. You see that Sonic is about to do a spin slash. Thankfully, I'm able to cancel it out just in time. Also here during the Squid fight, I meant to just do a normal homing attack, but instead it made me do the homing shot because I accidentally pressed ZR and Y at the same time. Now for my few complaints with Kronos Island, they love sprinkling these 2D sections everywhere. If by sprinkling, I mean taking a bucket, filling it up, and then dumping it everywhere. Yeah, this place has almost as much 2D as Sonic Colors. And that's saying something. Also, I really wish that you could go to the top of the volcano It's such a cool set piece, but they don't let you go to the top. It's just sad. Like, you could have just let us go to the top. They made it so that instead it's like you're trying to climb Mount Everest while strapping butter to your feet. And now for the Titans. Yeah, they're a bit buggy at times, but I said that I could excuse that. And I talked about some really cool moments with the first three. Now it's time to talk about the one that I didn't talk about yesterday. This boss looks so cool. And then it's just Giganto with projectiles. Yeah, I'm not kidding. So yeah, this is pretty weak for a final boss. Now this would be this would be great as a final boss. But then they had the other Titans building up to it, and this boss looks kind of weak in comparison. I mean, it is weak in comparison. Like, look at the cool cutscene. It's literally just the Giganto one again. Now, this boss is fine on its own. Like I said, I think this would work really well as a final boss if they hadn't given us such high expectations. But also, there are some other things too. This cutscene right here. I'm tired of seeing this cutscene. That's not the only thing. Also, those crystal things. Yeah, if you attack those too quickly, then you'll teleport to Supreme, and then attack him instead. And it kinda sucks. Also, as you can see here, the camera bugs out too. Now, I do think that this works really well as the final boss in the Final Horizons DLC, because then it has the cooler second phase. I don't have any footage of that, but still. Then Supreme just kind of falls down, and it kind of reminds me of the Walter White falling gif. Sage starts controlling Supreme, you fight a knockoff version of the moon, Supreme chucks you at the end, you get to see Sonic's forehead while doing a quick time event, and Sage dies. Average night out with the boys. But if you play on hard mode, then you get to do a glorified version of the hacking minigame. And that's about it. Then the quick time event is the same. So that was my nitpicks for Sonic Frontiers. And yeah, this video is a bit longer, but that's because there was less stuff, so I was able to go more in depth on it. Yup. Alright, like and subscribe. See ya. Oh, right, but before you leave, my Mario Maker 2 project that I made a trailer for, link in the description. My Mario Maker 2 project drops tomorrow. So, yeah, and I'm going to talk about it in another video tomorrow. So, yeah, get ready for that 3-day upload streak. Anyway, bye. Like and subscribe.